Everyone can be happy. That is a phrase I came across in the book, Courage to be Disliked. When I came across that chapter in that book, it wrestled with everything within me. In the book, the youth thought that past experiences determined the future of a person. And the youth was arguing the fact that it is not possible for everybody to change because people try to change, but they find it difficult to change. The philosopher was talking to the youth in that book and was trying to explain that everyone has the ability to change. And the philosopher said, past experiences do not determine the future of a person. At that point in time, I had some self-reflection and thought to myself, there are some things about myself that I'd like to change. For some reason, no matter how I try, I cannot seem to change those things about myself. And I thought to myself that perhaps if I had grown up in a different environment, if I had had different parents, perhaps if I had had different experiences when I was growing up, I probably would have been much better than I am right now. But then the philosopher had something else to say about that kind of thinking. If past experiences could determine the future of a person, then it meant that everybody will have the same kind of outcome depending on whether they had similar experiences in childhood. So if you had an abusive parent in childhood, it is possible for us to predict where you are going to end up in the future if what happened to you in the past determined exactly what will happen in the future. And so the philosopher said it was your present that determined your future. In other words, it doesn't matter what you've been through, it doesn't matter how you grew up, you have the power to change your tomorrow by the decision you're taking now. What do you want to do? If you decide for yourself that you're going to change, that you want to achieve a particular goal, then your mind will begin to work towards how can you get from where you are right now to achieving that goal you've set up yourself. So if you dwell in the realm of past experiences, then you definitely never live where you are. And thinking about what the philosopher said, I called to mind a particular time in uni where a friend of mine was a very shy person. He knew that with what he determined that he wanted to be in life, being shy will not get him there. Now, guess what this guy did? He decided to take steps that would help him overcome that shyness. He joined politics in school. He ran for parliament in our faculty. He won. And he didn't stop there. He also ran for the student union office in the uni and he won. So for this guy to overcome shyness, he determined by himself he was going to put himself in situations that will enable him to speak, to talk whether he liked it or not. There is nobody who cannot change. If you're finding it difficult to change right now, it's because you don't want to change. According to the philosopher, whatever scenario you have created in your mind right now for why you cannot change is the excuse you are giving yourself for not wanting to change. You've created that scenario so that anytime anyone asks you, why are you the way you are? You will say, oh, it's because of 1, 2, 3. That's why you are the way you are. If you really want to change, your mind will no longer dwell in why you are the way you are. The only thing your mind will think about is, how do I get from here to where I want to be? It's a whole lot to unpack from this book, but I can tell you that just like the youth in the book, I find a lot of the ideologies in the book very challenging. And I think it's because they beam the searchlight on me and hold me accountable. I'm beginning to find out that the way I thought about things may not actually be how things are supposed to be thought about. It's challenging me, it's turning my whole mind upside down. And it's one book I know that I will have to go back to read again just because of the things that I also disagree with. Like the youth in the book disagrees with the philosopher. But then this got me thinking, and this is one thing that I know that I've taken out of this book so far, that I have the power to change. And once I realize that the power to change lies in me, then it means that I can be able to do what I thought I didn't have the power to do. It's just like what my pastor told me several years ago when I started coming under his teaching. He had said to me that diligence is not a fruit of the Spirit. There is no extra grace that is coming from anywhere to help you to do what you know you need to do. And that is my message to you today. Nobody's coming to save you. If you believe that you can't change because of your past experiences, that's where you're going to remain. But if right now you being the success of yourself and you hold yourself accountable for the change that you want to see in your own life, you will eventually do change. And that's hint of coffee today.